Hello, this is Greg Wagner, and I'm going to do a quick overview of Emacs. Now, I'm running the GUI version of Emacs right now, but I'm going to try to do this all with commands so you can see what the different commands do, and if you need to run Emacs, like if you're on a terminal or something like that, in the terminal, you can still do it. So, this is the basic splash screen. To start a new file, so basically if you do Control X, let me highlight this. If you do Control X, you'll see that you can do stuff on the bottom here. So I want to start a new file, so I'm going to do Control X and then Control F. This will say find a file. So basically what it does is it will look for a file. If you can't find it, it'll actually make it. So I'm going to make this first file, and I will do, I'll just call this test. And I'll call this test.c because I'm going to make a C program for this. So I'm just going to make a basic Hello World C program. And so to do standard IO, main, and argc, char star star, argv. So if you start doing C programming, you can see this stuff later on. Basically, just kind of explain this. This first line here is the basic kind of main file for a basic C program. argc is the number of argument values, so if you run this in the command line, it'll count how many arguments, and then the actual name of the file is also the first one, so the 0th value. And then argv is just the argument values. And then I'll just do a basic hello world. And then to save this, if I do Control X and then Control S, it'll write it. So it writes it to my home directory. And then if you want to, you can also do command line stuff. So to do command line, what you need to do is type on a normal keyboard, type Alt Shift and then, or Alt exclamation point, so Alt Shift or 1. And you'll see down here in the bottom you can get a command. So I'm going to make a basic shell command. And so to run this file, I'm going to do gcc hello.txt, and then when you start learning more about GCC or C compiler, GCC stands for GNU C compiler, then hello.txt, and it should be hello.c, and then O is where you're going to put the actual executable file. So I'm going to make this executable file, and I'll just call this hello. Oops, and I did it wrong, so I'll do Control Alt Command Shell. It should be gcc.test.c. Basically, what I'm running here is basically a shell. I'm running the shell, but it runs it actually in Emacs. And I'll do that out, and then call this hello. I don't want to call this test because test is actually a built-in thing. So it runs this. It says shell commands to do with no errors, so that's good. And so if I want to actually run the file, I can do that again. I can do Control Alt Shift, and then if I type in hello, oops, it should be .hello because I didn't set the path to run this executables. You can see the output from my program. You can do a search already in within the command line. So say if I want to search for, if I do Control S, oops, wrong one. Control S, I search for stdio. You can see that it shows the one up here. And then let's see if I can do. I'll type hello, and then if I do Control S, if I do hello, you can see all the locations where it's did. And so this has very similar commands to VI. A lot of programmers know how to use both VI and Emacs. I mostly used Emacs when I was in grad school. Even though I did have other editors, I just felt Emacs was a good tool to use. And then kind of some basic other commands. If you want to do save as, it's basically the write file. So if you do Control X, you're going to get the prompt down here, and I do Control W. I'll write the file, so I'll do this. I'll call this test.c.bk for backup. It writes it out. Let's see what other ones I can do. Control X, K, and then I'll exit it. So this is a kind of a basic instructions. There's lots of commands, and I'll put a link to the cheat sheet. There's so many different commands that if you don't use it regularly, you kind of forget them. But Emacs is actually a really powerful tool. Oh, before I go, I want to show you, Emacs actually has some games built into them. Alt-X, I mean. And I believe it's Snake. You can get a basic Snake game. You can also do, if I do Alt-X, oops, Alt-X, and I do Doctor, you can have a basic psychotherapist, so I can say, I am tired. I say, why you're tired? And basically it does a kind of a stochastic method of doing psychoanalysis. So I hope this was enjoyable for you, and I hope you learned something.